What is up, guys, and welcome back to West Kentucky Logger TV. Today, I think we're going to scale a log and see how much we actually yield from it. Sometimes whenever using the Doyle scale, whenever a log is sawn, it will yield 30 to 40% more on lumber from everything that I've ever read online. Now, I've never actually done a true test to see whether or not when you saw a smaller log or a bigger log, the footage that it will actually yield when sawn into boards or lumber. So I will get my Doyle scale and we are going to go over here and I'm going to pick out a log and we'll scale it and we'll see the footage that it will read on the Doyle scale. And then we'll saw it. I'll just plain saw it so we don't waste anything. And we'll go from there. I'll grab a little cherry over here. I'll try and find a decent. Tell you what, I got a walnut log over here. We'll do a walnut log. How's that sound? I got a pretty nice little walnut over here. So it's got a little hole here. Okay. So this Doyle scale, you find, let me see if I can get it to focus. 16, 14, 12 feet. Let me set it up here so I can point it out. And then right here is your 10 and your 18 feet scales. So this is inch marks. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then on those marks is the footage. So we're 4 foot there. It's a 6 foot log. 6 foot 6 inches. So we'll go right here and we'll scale it for a 12 foot log. Because we'll get 6-inch lumber out of this, which there's not really a market for 6 foot lumber. So we'll go to the 12. Come down to here. So at 12 foot, it's 91 board feet. Now, since this is a 6.5 foot log, we're going to divide it in half. So that would actually be 45.5 feet is what this log will scale out to. Now, we'll saw that, and whenever we get the dimensional boards off the mill and get them stacked, we'll see what the boards actually add up to in board footage, and we'll go from there. I've got to clean up some before I can saw anything. Now that we got our logs over here and we've cleaned up a little bit, still got a little bit of scrap wood over here. Alright, so I've got this walnut sawn up. The only board footage calculator I have is either in my head, which will take a little more time than my phone will. So we can sit here and do this math. I guess a board foot is literally 1 inch thick, 12 inches wide by 12 inches wide. So pretty much a square foot, just 1 inch thick. And that's how board footage is measured. And these walnut slabs are pretty. I'm glad I did this. And this walnut's been sitting long enough that the sapwood's starting to turn. Because I just saw that, and it's almost gray. That's pretty. I like that. See, so it's 14 inches wide here and 13 inches wide. All right, so and let's see how many inches long. So 6 foot, 2 inches long. Let's go with 6 foot. So 6 foot, 14 inches wide. So every foot would actually be more than a board foot. I'm not mad, but at the same time, like, that's crazy, the difference between what that Doyle scale read and what that yielded. Which I know I soldered in the slabs, but I did a 1x9, 1x8, 1x13, 1x14, 1x15. I don't know, whatever it ended up being. Board 1 was 18.22 on board footage. Board 2 was 11.71 on board footage. Board 3 was 10.41. Board 4 was 16.9. That wasp. Board 5, I don't know where he's going, but he almost stung me a minute ago. Board 5 is 19.53. That was a total board footage of 76 and 77 over 100. So it's literally 36. No, yeah. I think we scaled it. It was, no, my bad. It was 45 and a half board foot when we scaled it. So that would be roughly 31.2 board foot more than what the Doyle scale scaled that log to, which is crazy to me. And that log was it was 15 inches at the biggest point. I saw that for character grade lumber, but that's just pitiful. That's 31 board foot more than what a logger would have got paid for. And not just the logger, but the landowners losing that as well. And I don't know if the sawmills could honestly make it if it weren't for that additional percentage of footage that they generate. But it's just sad that logs are bought that way, in my opinion. Well, anyways, I got some beautiful slabs. That walnut's very pretty. I'm going to sweep them off and stack them up over here. That walnut's just so pretty. It's got some really good character. Some people like quarter sawn walnut. I've quarter sawn some of it. I don't really think it looks any better than plain sawn walnut. That would make an awesome like buffet or entryway table. I know we got a pretty good answer on whether or not a log is going to yield what the Doyle scale says it will, or if you're going to yield more out of your log than the Doyle scale says. I'll probably do another video on a large log, like a 30-inch diameter log. I have a really nice cypress log over here, and it's scaled out to 250 board foot. And I'm curious if, being that it's such a big log, if it's going to be more accurate on the Doyle scale opposed to the smaller logs. And when you're getting into sawmilling, it's kind of, well, it's just new to you, and nobody's going to teach you because everybody thinks of you as competition. And I don't really want to be competition. I don't want to saw, ties and pallet stock and stuff like that. I just want to saw high grade custom lumber and do a good job at it. So this is a stud of a cypress log that I got. And I bought it off an Amish friend. He had a few brought in, and he doesn't really have a market for cypress, but I like using it myself. That's a nice log, and it's got 250 board foot in it. I think I'll have to cut down the sides of it with a chainsaw to even get it up on the mill. So tune in for that maybe in a couple weeks. Tune in, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll be around next week probably.